People cannot anticipate your response. When they are uncertain whether your smile conceals steel, they tread carefully. They respect your personal space. But if your response is always passive, you become a script they've already memorized, a puppet whose strings they can effortlessly manipulate. There's a dangerous myth that equates being feared with being evil, that strength and kindness are mutually exclusive. But that is a fabrication spun by those who dread. True power resides in embodying both, a person capable of profound kindness, yet unafraid to inspire awe and even fear, with compassion but never bows for scraps. A person who smiles, but not for the purpose of being liked. This is how you break free from the niceness trap, not by becoming cruel, but by becoming sovereign. So remember this. Your kindness should be a gift, not an obligation. Your empathy should be chosen, not expected. And your approval should be earned, never assumed. Because when it becomes divine. But when kindness is all you are, it becomes your prison. The inevitability of betrayal. Betrayal rarely originates from strangers. It emerged once shared laughter with, confided in, and fiercely protected. And that, chillingly, is what makes it so utterly devastating. It doesn't feel like an overt attack. It feels like a slow, insidious poison, subtly administered behind a familiar smile. Machiavelli grasped a fundamental: people pursue advantage. And advantage, by it. One day, you are the dominant player on the board, the gravitational center around which others orbit. The next, a new force emerges, more useful, more valuable, more threatening. And in that precise instinctively, shifts. That friend who once sang your praises begins to whisper behind your back. That ally who calls. That lover who once uttered, forever, starts to withdraw, their gaze wandering to someone else. They don't betray you because you failed them. They betray you because they've. And the depth it becomes utterly irrelevant. In the brutal arena of power, history is merely a memory, and people will ruthlessly. Machiavelli's chilling admonition: never trust in affection alone. He advised rulers, and by extension, anyone who wields influence, to assume that not to succumb to paranoia, but to remain perpetually prepared. The gravest error you can commit is to presume loyalty is a permanent fixture. Because here's the unvarnished truth. When your power wanes, so too does their loyalty. When your usefulness ends, so too does their presence. When their envy escalates, so too does their silent desire to see you fall. This isn't cynicism. It's psychological realism. We all carry shadows within us, hidden desires for dominance, for recognition. Sometimes, even your closest friend harbors a simmering resentment, a jealousy they never articulate aloud. They smile. They offer support. They laugh with you. But deep beneath that facade, they secretly hope you'll stumble. Not necessarily out of malice, but because your very light casts a shadow on their own sense of worth. Elevate themselves by dimming your shine, many will seize it without hesitation. Strategies for the inevitable. So, what do? First, stop idealizing people. When you place others on a pedestal, you grant them unearned power. When you demand purity, you willfully ignore glaring warning signs. When you blindly assume loyalty, you cease to observe with the necessary vigilance. People's behavior over time. Do they only offer support when it's convenient for them? Do their private remarks about you differ wildly from their public ones? Do they compete with your successes rather than genuinely celebrating them? These are not insignificant details. They are undeniable.